Okay, so I read Breakfast of Champions by Vonnegut, and it was a really interesting book. A little bit of background history on Vonnegut. He was a war prisoner in World War II. It's really important to know that because it had a tremendous influence on his writing, and it's really apparent when you read any of his stuff. So Vonnegut, what he uses when he writes is satire, and for those of you guys who don't know what satire is, it's dark humor essentially, and he takes taboo topics. The six big ones in this novel, anyway, were war, sex, racism, success, politics, and pollution, and he mocks them, and it's really interesting to see the realism in all of it, and how he's able to take his two main characters, Kilgore Trout and Dwayne Hoover, and show how really screwed up a lot of these things are through his main characters. So anyway, the book is basically these two characters, Dwayne Hoover and Kilgore Trout, and they go on what seem to be just simple life experiences. But the way the narrator describes these experiences are, he will go into one of these topics relating to one of the character's experiences, and he'll go on a tangent about it to the point where you almost forget about what the two characters are actually doing in the book, because he's talking about what they're doing. But the two characters, they aren't normal people. Kilgore Trout is a novelist who wrote hundreds of science fiction novels, and the novels are basically these disguised commentaries on human nature, human flaw. And Dwayne Hoover is a Pontiac dealer who is going insane because he read one of these, one of Kilgore's novels. And the preface of the novel that made him go insane: a flying saucer creature named Zog arrived on Earth to explain how wars could be prevented and how cancer could be cured. He brought information from Margo, a planet where natives converse by means of farts and tap dancing. Zog landed at night in Connecticut. He had no sooner touched down than he saw a house on fire. He rushed into the house, farting and tap dancing, warning the people about the terrible danger they were in. The head of the house brained Zog with a golf club. And so what Kilgore is saying in this novel is that we, as humans, we don't fully understand something, even if the idea could hold massive positive implications. We are hostile towards it, and what I sort of connected that to was the Vietnam War, if any of you guys are familiar with that. I assume you are. And communism, and the fall of communism. As Americans, we did that. So, the most interesting thing to me about this novel was the way it was narrated. And the narration is sort of this man, and he's describing all of these two characters' experiences as simple things, and it's as if he's never interacted with humans, but he sees what humans do, and every human experience is the same as the other. So going to McDonald's and buying a burger is the exact same as the Holocaust and millions of people dying. When you put all these controversial topics in their simplest form, you really see how messed up they are, and how we ignore them for our own comfort. And so after reading the book, I pulled this up. This is Vonnegut's rendition of Kilgore Trout. You can see he has 11 eyes. I think it would have thrown me off if I had seen this before reading it, imagining him walking around with 11 eyes. But what he's saying is that Kilgore sort of sees things differently, and I think that Vonnegut sort of made Kilgore a manifestation of himself, and that he sees things differently. And if Vonnegut's goal in writing this book was to make people see things differently, he definitely succeeded.